Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. And in this video, we are checking out these guys, brand freaking new, the Sony's, I don't know, do you want me to pronounce his whole name? The WF-1000XM4. Basically, the true wireless version of the Sony XM4s, super popular headphones, and the XM4s, they're building on the true wireless XM3s, and man, it was a big overhaul. Lots of design changes and improvements in pretty much everything. So these are already just starting off on a great foot, and they really only get better. And there is a lot to talk about, but going back, if you look at the giant history of headphone compares that I've done here on Apple Insider, usually to AirPods or AirPods Pro, there have typically been about, I think, 2 headphones that I would generally recommend as better alternatives to AirPods. Not counting some of Apple's nice features, but the Bose Quiet Comfort earbuds were truly phenomenal, and I also was a huge fan of the Master and Dynamic MW08. So both of those I put above AirPods Pro, though you do sacrifice some of Apple's quality of life features that you get from a first-party product. So, heck, with that said, these are absolutely going on the list. These are blowing me away. I'm in love with these. So spoilers! I like these headphones. Let's go ahead and dive into what makes the Sony XM4s such a standout set of headphones, feature-wise going far beyond Apple's AirPods Pro, other than Apple's quality of life improvements for being a first-party product. First up, we just have to talk about packaging for a second. Huge kudos to Sony for the packaging here. I love it on multiple levels. I think the packaging looks great. I mean, it looks immediately like a premium product. Super compact, about the same footprint overall, same square inches as like the AirPods packaging, AirPods Pro packaging. But I mean, this is paper. Like, it looks like it's made out of like plastic or something. It looks like a fancy plastic, but it's actually just all paper. So everything here can just be, can just decompose. It's just all biodegradable, which is amazing. I love it. So packaging wise, Sony, you guys hit it out of the park with this. I think even better than Apple's packaging, but Apple sticks with what they do. All their packaging looks pretty much the same. So already, Sony, good job on the packaging here. Now let's talk about the buds themselves. So if we look at the designs on these 2 sets of earbuds, there are some things that are similar, some things that are different, but of course Apple goes with its own kind of really proprietary custom design that looks like these little stems. I mean, you have the part that goes in your ear, and then you have the force stems that angle down. Some people really hate the look of AirPods. Other people love it because it's iconic and it's really what Apple is known for. Like, you have somebody with these and you know that they are AirPods versus the Sony or anything else when they're in, you don't necessarily know what they are. They look a little bit more generic. Apple, for better or for worse, went with its own kind of iconic design for the AirPods Pro, and everybody knows what they look like. Now, the XM4 here, they are much smaller than the XM3s were. They're still a little chunky. These are still pretty big headphones. They still have some weight to them, but they definitely have an improved look over the XM3s. These are a little bit more, typical looking, look a little bit more like a standard set of true wireless earbuds. But I think they do look really nice. They come in both black and white, whereas AirPods are only white. And they have these like little kind of metal accents around the outside that I think just really look cool. So these have a little more of a standard design, but I do like them. They are a handsome set of headphones, and they do have like that matte finish on the outside. I like the matte finish versus the AirPods Pro glossy exterior. For controls, the AirPods Pro, of course, have the force stems that you can squeeze, whereas Sony has these touch-sensitive outer surfaces that you can use to control things like the ANC or the volume or just the content that you're listening to. Each set of these headphones, both the Sony's and the Apple, they have 2 sets of microphones on each one, and all of the microphones are beamforming. One is feed forward, which is projecting outwards, and the other one is feed back, which listens into your ear so it can hear what your ear is hearing and kind of adjust stuff on the fly. So it's listening both in your ear and outside of your ear, and that's pretty crucial to improve on noise canceling capabilities. On top of the microphones, Sony's also using bone conduction. It's actually able to feel those vibrations and help boost your voice in noisy environments. I think that is super cool. Apple definitely doesn't have anything like that with the AirPods Pro. As far as fit and comfort goes, I'm a little torn here. I don't really have a big preference between the two. I've been using AirPods Pro for a long time, and I think they're extremely comfortable. I've never had issues with them. I've done pretty much everything. They don't fall out of my ears. They work just perfect for my ears, but everyone's ears are different, and it's going to be different for you. So if you've used AirPods or AirPods Pro in the past and you're not sure how they feel, give them a try. I think that's just always going to be key per person. Both Apple and Sony actually have fit tests now. So whether you're using the Sony Headphone Connect app or you're using just the one in settings for the AirPods, when you set it up, you can get this fit test to let you know if you have the right, tip on your earbuds. Each of them has replaceable tips. You just put the ones that are the right size, and then that little fit test can tell you if you have the right ear tips on your headphones. I think Sony does a great job. These do feel a little bit more compact in your ear than the XM3s did, and they fit very comfortable for me. I don't have a preference. These may be a little more secure in my ear if I was like working out, but they both have the same IPX4 water and sweat resistance, which isn't a ton, but it's some. So they're not hugely rated for workouts. Like, neither of these are specific like workout headphones. Definitely look like the Beats line for Apple or 1,000 other options over on the universal side of things. So let's look at battery life on these two sets of earbuds. Once again, Sony is winning by quite a bit. If you look at the raw specs, maybe it's a little bit of a toss-up. For you, maybe it's a toss-up. But for me, it's hands down a victory for Sony. So both of them get a combined usage time with what's in the earbud and the case of 24 hours. So 24 hours of total listening time for both of these guys. So in that regard, they're the same, and it's just, a wash for both of them. But if we look at the actual, time that you can listen without having to take them out of your ear, Sony's got this on lock. So AirPods Pro, you can get 4.5 hours on a single charge. 5 hours if you turn noise canceling off. And then, of course, you have a combined total with the case of 24 hours. Sony's, on the other hand, these guys can go 8 hours on a single charge. And on top of that, if you turn off noise cancellation, you can go all the way up to 12 hours on a single charge. 12 hours. And I get what you're saying. You're not listening to your headphones that long. The 4.5 hours on these is fine, because every time you put them in your case, they top off and they're always good to go. And that is true. But what happens after a couple years of usage? That time goes down, and it's a big problem that AirPods users and AirPods Pro users now have started to experience. After a few years of use, those batteries start to degrade and they don't last as long. So if the AirPods Pro, their battery life goes by half, and you're getting 2.25 hours of battery life, that's not great. That's pretty crappy. Whereas these guys, if these guys go down by half after a couple years of use, oh, you've gone from 8 hours to 4. Still 4 hours of battery life here at half the battery health. So for that reason, I'm giving Sony just the win here when it comes to battery life. In terms of charging, we got Lightning, we've got USB-C, USB-C to USB-A cable in the box, Lightning to USB-A cable in the box, and they both can charge via Qi. Take your favorite Qi charger, drop either of these on top, and they can charge wirelessly. Huge benefit there. You don't have to pay extra for a wireless charging case with either of them. Wireless charging case is included in both sets of earbuds. Now it's time to talk about audio quality. Pretty crucial for a set of headphones here. Now, AirPods Pro was far better than AirPods in terms of audio quality, and I think they still sound very good, and Apple has done a lot over time to improve their audio capabilities, adding things like spatial audio that was recently introduced. But Sony, I think, once again wins in terms of pure audio quality, not looking at special features or anything like that. And it's kind of not even fair, because if we were on an Android handset, it'd have an even bigger leg up than it does when we're listening on our Apple gear. So these guys are using a custom 6mm driver, and they have their own processor inside for like the first time. They're using their own V1 processor. I wonder where I've heard that before. It sounds really familiar. But yeah, we got the V1 processor on the inside, 6mm custom drivers, and they just have a bigger size than the AirPods Pro, so you're just getting a fuller sound. It sounds richer, and you just have more kind of depth and more differentiation between the notes and the vocals and the instruments that you're listening to, and definitely deeper bass over here on the Sony. I mean, they just killed it. Between the larger size, the larger driver, it's able to eclipse what you're getting on AirPods Pro. AirPods Pro aren't bad, not by any means, but you can get so much more with the Sonys. And that leads me into like the lossless audio quality. You can't get lossless audio with AirPods Pro. Apple's using, AAC or something for its audio codec, and that's right now all they have. Whereas the Sony XM4s, they support LDAC. So this is a new like lossless audio codec for Bluetooth that works with the new Sonys. Now, Apple doesn't support this. iPhones don't support this. You cannot listen to LDAC content on the Sonys on an iPhone. If you have an Android handset or a computer, something like that, that does support LDAC, then you're going to get even better audio quality out of the Sonys than I got when I'm testing them on my iPhone. So if you're using one of those devices for listening, you're going to get better audio quality. And I think that is a big leg up for the Sony XM4s. We already started to talk about it, but spatial audio quality, Apple did recently introduce spatial audio quality coming to Apple Music. You can stream on AirPods Pro. Now, the way this works is pretty cool. You're going to get that 3D audio sounding that's coming from all around your head as you're listening to music. And Apple's already supporting thousands of songs with this, but it also can replicate this effect on other things that aren't supported yet. So it kind of gives you a different experience with iOS 15. So spatial audio quality, huge for the AirPods Pro. So Sony offers something called 360 reality audio is what they're calling it. Now you have to subscribe to a compatible app like Deezer or Tidal, but when you're doing that, you can get this 360 degree sounding audio through your Sony XM4s. So they essentially have their own version of spatial audio that Apple has, as long as you're using one of those compatible apps. So you can get spatial audio effectively on the Sony XM4s, assuming you're going through Tidal or something like that. So that's very good to know, especially if you're already a subscriber to Deezer or Tidal, those guys. So super cool. The one thing that Apple does have with the AirPods Pro, though, when it comes to spatial audio, is the head tracking. So if you're watching a video, it's actually keeping that audio source fixed in front of you. So somebody's talking on screen at you, and you turn your head, the audio source now shifts to the right instead of in front. And as you turn this way, it comes that side. With regular headphones, like the Sonys, that audio is going to follow where your head is going, and it's just going to always be in front of you, even if you're not looking at the screen. So I think that head tracking, because Apple has accelerometers and gyroscopes in AirPods Pro, which allows it to do that head tracking ability. The Sonys don't have that. So head tracking is even coming to music later this year with iOS 15, but for Sonys, you're stuck with just that 360 audio coming around your head. So there is a little bit of a difference there. I think Apple has kind of the edge on it, but Sony does have their own version of spatial audio. What about ANC and noise cancellation? Well, this is, again, something that's going to go to the Sony win column. Sony has done an excellent job with noise cancellation. I mean, we see it with their over-the-ear XM4s that are amazing and beloved by many people, especially when you're talking about the AirPods Max. Everyone was loving those XM4s for over-the-ear headphones. And Sony has done a great job in incorporating a lot of that tech into the XM4 True Wireless Earbuds. It's just better. I think it's better for a number of reasons. The bone conduction for talking while in these noisy environments and canceling out that external noise when you're talking to someone, big win for Sony. Just the larger driver and everything, it has a lot to come into play there, and I think they do a better job at canceling that outside noise. With AirPods Pro, if I'm talking or kind of moving around a little bit, I can hear some rustling kind of going on through my ears and a little bit of kind of that anti-noise, and I think it's just smoother and quieter on the Sonys. Both do a good job, but Sony has the superior noise cancellation between the two. So are you guys going to make me pick a winner? Well, let's summarize things up a little bit. If we look at the AirPods Pro, Apple has a lot going for it, and its biggest thing that you're going to want with the AirPods Pro is Apple's first-party solutions. I mean, these things integrate into everything so nicely. They have that instant pairing procedure where you just open it up near your phone and boom, it integrates into the battery apps, and you can talk to Siri, hands-free Siri there, which can also announce your messages or notifications that are coming in, thanks to iOS 15. It also just shows up in your control center. It can switch between all of your Apple devices seamlessly as I go from my iPhone to my iPad to my Mac. It'll just follow me through the devices. It'll even work with Apple TV. There's literally a new notification with tvOS 15 that makes switching from your Mac or your iPad to your Apple TV even easier with a little notification that pops up, and you can just click and move over to your Apple TV. It's so seamless. You also have that spatial audio aspect that works great with not iPhone and iPad, but your Mac and your Apple TV as well. You can get spatial audio with head tracking on your Apple TV when you're using AirPods Pro. That is a lot of really cool stuff. Apple really relies on that H1 processor, similar to that V1 processor. But it's H1 processor to do things like the adaptive EQ that adjust the audio for your specific ears. It has Find My support. New with iOS 15 is Conversation Boost. Using that beamforming microphone, it'll catch the audio that's coming from the person that you're talking to and boost their voice into your ears. So allowing those who have slight hearing issues being able to converse better. So Apple's got just a lot of stuff going on with AirPods Pro, and Apple does continue to make them better through software updates like iOS 15 coming out later this year. But Sony has so much to offer as well. I mean, we have that LDAC codec that, while not supported on iPhone, is a big deal if you've got a supported device. They have their own version of Spatial Audio, 360 reality audio. We have better ANC, better sound, and better battery life than Apple offers in a very similarly sized form factor. They're just a little bit larger in terms of the case, but similar form factor, and they win in like all of those categories. If you use Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, there's hands-free assistance for both of those through the Sony earbuds. There's an app that goes with where you can do software updates, see the battery life, and tweak them and customize them to your specific liking. And there's something called adaptive sound, which is neat, where it actually learns locations that you go to frequently: home, work, gym, train, whatever, and as you switch it, it'll kind of learn what your settings are for those areas and adjust the sound automatically to make it sound the best for that environment, which I think is a super, super cool feature. So if you're really going on audio quality and ANC, then I think you have to go with the Sonys. But if you're stuck in that Apple environment, and I'm going to see the comments, I know it, you're all going to say, like, you can't beat AirPods Pro because of the Apple environment and all those first-party features, and that's true. So if you just care about kind of like the overall user experience and all of that, but still want, good ANC and sound quality, you go for the AirPods Pro. If you want just the best overall set of, headphones between the two, then I think it's fair in that case to go with the Sony XM4s. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU which one you like and why. And if you want to grab a set of AirPods Pro or Sony XM4 True Wireless, you can find links for both of them down below in the description.